G'day everyone, welcome to another Battleforged Gaming Ultimate Guide. In this episode, we are going to teach you how to paint an Ultramarine. As always, this model will be built and painted in sub-assemblies to allow you to access all areas of the model. All paints used throughout this tutorial are Duncan Rhodes 2 thin coats, except for the primer and the varnish. Starting from bare plastic, we are going to prime our model with Macragge Blue spray from Citadel. Thinning down marine blue and using a medium layer brush, we're going to base coat the entire model. This is going to take 2 thin coats. Using a 1-to-1 mix of Doom Death Black and Abyss Blue with a small amount of water, we're going to apply a recess shade using an extra small layer brush. With your recess shade dried, we are now going to start base coating areas. The first color we are using is Doom Death Black, and we are going to paint all of the areas we want black, such as the gun casing and the armor segments in between our blue power armor. And as always, with any of the base coating, this is going to take 2, potentially 3 thin coats depending on the color. With a 1-to-1 mix of Sanguine Red and Demon Red, we are going to base coat the helmet. This will take 3 coats. The next step is to apply the Veteran Sergeant stripe down the helmet and paint the face of the Storm Shield. For this, we are going to mix Carcharodon Grey and White Star in a 1-to-1 mix. To mark out the stripe, we are going to paint some lines down the helmet. If you make any mistakes, we are going to return later with some red to apply some battle damage, so you can also tidy up the stripe at the same time. This is how your stripe will look on your helmet. As previously stated, we can come back and tidy up this step. Next, we are going to use some Dragon Fang and block in the Tabard. This will take 3 coats to cover. This color is also going to be used on the parchment of our purity seals. Moving on to the leather areas of our model, we are mixing Noble Steed and Curious Leather in a 1-to-1 mix. Again, applying 2 thinned coats. We are now going to prepare any areas that we wish to be gold later on by base coating them with Gizmo Fur. Don't worry if this doesn't cover 100%, as we are going to apply some gold metallic in a later step. And just like our gold areas, our silver metallic areas we will base coat with Dungeon Stone. Again, we will be applying a metallic silver to this at a later step. With Sword Hilt Burgundy, we are now going to paint the sword hilt, as well as the wax of our purity seals. This is going to take 2 thin coats. The final color we are going to base coat with is Griffin Claw. We're going to use this anywhere that we have scroll work, so like the front of the shield, shoulder pad or on a gun casing. This will take 2 thin coats. With all of your base coats blocked in, this is how your model will look. Next, we will start working on some details. I like to start with the lenses of the helmet. This way, if we make any mistakes, we aren't having to tidy up edge highlights that we've already painted. Taking some wyvern green, we are going to apply 2 thin coats into the lenses. With a 1-to-1 mix of emerald green and ethereal green, we are going to apply a small tick to the inner corner of the lens, leaving some of that wyvern green on the outer edge. Using Talisman Glow, we are going to repeat the same tick process, trying to leave some of the previous color visible and making it brighter on the inner corner of the lens. Mixing 1 part Cold Corpse Blue and 4 parts water, we are going to apply a recess shade on any of our white areas. So this will be the stripe on the helmet as well as the rivets on our shield. Taking some white start and mixing it with a small amount of water, we are going to apply a dot in the outer corner of the lenses, as well as apply an edge highlight to any white areas. This will be the stripe on the helmet as well as our shield. With our red base coat mixture of sanguine red and demon red, we are going to apply some microchipping to the white stripe on the helmet. In this case, less is more, so don't go over the top. We will also use this to tidy up the shape of the stripe itself. With the microchipping done, we are now going to use Berserker Red with a small amount of water and apply a recess shade in any red areas. Use your base coat to tidy up if you make any mistakes. The first of 2 red edge highlights is going to be straight demon red. You want to paint this thick enough so that you can apply a second edge highlight on top of this. If you make any mistakes, just use your base coat to tidy up. Mixing 5 parts orange flare and 1 part demon orange, we are going to apply our second edge highlight. If you do make any mistakes or you don't like any of the edge highlights on this, you can use your primary edge highlight to tidy it up. To finalize the red areas of your armor, we are going to use Flaming Forge Orange to apply a dot edge highlight. Next, we are going to focus on the Tabard. Mixing together Dragon Fang and Skeleton Horde in a 1-to-1 mix with a small amount of water, we're going to layer up the higher points of the Tabard, leaving some of the base coat in the recesses. Using the same paint mixture, we are going to apply a series of horizontal flicks on the parchment of our purity seal as well. With Skeleton Horde mixed with a small amount of water, we're going to paint the same process as before, trying to leave some of our previous color visible. This is for both the Tabard and the Purity Seal parchment. Adding Vampire Fang into your Skeleton Horde to make a 1-to-1 mix with a small amount of water, we're going to continue to layer up our Tabard and our Purity Seal parchment. Continuing to layer up our Tabard and our Purity Seal parchment, we are now going to use pure Vampire Fang with a small amount of water. With a 2-to-1 mix of Dragon Fang and White Star, we're going to apply an edge highlight to our Tabard and also our Purity Seals. You can add a small amount of water to this step. With Archaic Sepia Wash, we are going to apply a recess shade to the parchment of the Purity Seals, as well as dragging it towards the top of the wax. You can wick off some of this wash to add a gradient. With a 1-to-1 mix of griffin claw and ivory tusk, we are going to start to layer up our scroll areas. We're using a similar technique to the purity seals, however this time it will be a bunch of vertical strokes on the area. Try and leave some of the base coat visible in the recesses. With pure ivory tusk mixed with some water, we are going to continue to layer up this scroll work, repeating the same process by applying some vertical lines. With a mixture of ivory tusk and trooper white, we are again going to repeat a process of applying some vertical lines, leaving some of the previous color visible. Mixing together Curious Leather and Doom Death Black in a 1-to-1 mix, we're going to mark out on a piece of tape the size of the area we want to paint our text. With the area marked out on the tape, I like to transfer it onto a base so that I can practice my text, and if you make any mistakes, you can easily replicate the tape with the marks on it. With the Curious Leather and Doom Death Black mixture, we can now practice our text on the tape. Repeat this process until you are happy with your spacing. When you are happy with your results from your practice text, take the tape and apply it underneath the area you wish to paint your text. A good idea is to start from the center so that you don't run out of room. Take your time with this step and tidy up with the base coat of the script if you make any mistakes. With the same Curious Leather and Doom Death Black mixture, we are now going to paint the text onto our purity seals. For this, you want to apply some small dots and dashes instead of just straight lines. Moving on, we are going to apply a wash of Oblivion Black wash onto the wax of our purity seals, the leather of our holster and our belt, as well as the handle of our sword. Oblivion Black wash does seem to look grey straight from the bottle, but this is because of the matting agent. It will dry like a regular black shade. With sword hilt burgundy, we are going to re-layer the higher points of our wax. You want to leave some of those dark recesses. With glistening gums, we're going to apply an edge highlight to our sword handle, as well as continue to layer up the wax of our purity seals, leaving some of the previous color visible. To finish off the pink areas of our purity seals, we're going to take Neo Pink and apply a very small highlight to the highest areas of the wax. Moving on from the purity seals, we are going to start work on the leather areas. The first step is to apply a thick edge highlight of Noble Steed. With Satyr Brown, we are going to apply a broken edge highlight. This is a series of random dots and dashes. You can also apply some micro scratches just to weather that leather up even more. With the leather finished, we are going to move on to the black areas of the model, like the undersuit and gun casings. The first highlight we're going to apply to this is Ashen Grey. The second edge highlight is Wizard Grey. You want to leave some of your Ashen Grey visible. To finalize our grey edge highlights, we are going to apply a dot highlight of Kakaradon Grey. This will both be on the corners of the gun casing and an imaginary line down our under armour. Moving on to our blue power armor, we're going to apply our first of 2 edge highlights. This is going to be a 1-to-1 mixture of marine blue and Elysium blue. With our first thick edge highlight done, we are going to move on to the second edge highlight. For this, we are using Celestial Blue, and you want to leave some of your previous highlight showing. If you make any mistakes with this, just use your primary highlight to tidy up. To finish off the highlights on our blue power armor, we are going to mix 2 parts White Star to 1 part Celestial Blue and apply this to all of the edges of the power armor. The final step before varnish and metallics is to apply our transfers. You want to apply the correct transfers to your miniature. It may not be a blade guard. I like for my transfers to sit, and then I apply microsol to them regardless of whether they're on a curved or flat surface. A great reference for the correct transfers is to use your codex or the Games Workshop website. With the Tamiya TS80 flat clear varnish dried, we will now move on to the metallic areas. First, we are going to base coat the gold areas with Dragon Gold. Using Surcoat Silver, we are going to paint all of the metallic silver areas. With the metallic base coats dried, we are now going to shade the gold and the silver. For the gold, we are going to use Flesh Wash. For the silver metallic areas, we are going to shade these with Oblivion Black Wash. The next step is to brighten the gold areas back up again. For this, we are going to relayer with Dragon's Gold, leaving some of the darker recesses visible. A good tip to help add depth to metallic areas or large metallic areas is to leave some of the shade in the corners. You will see this later on the Storm Shield. With a mixture of 1 part Dragon's Gold and 1 part Mithril Blade, we are going to continue to layer up our gold areas, making them even brighter. Again, with the Storm Shield, focus on the center of the flat areas, making it darker on the outer edges. To finish off both our gold and silver metallic areas, we're going to take Mithril Blade and apply a thin edge highlight. And with that step complete, we have finished the model. You want to base this up so it matches the rest of your army. I sincerely hope you have found this tutorial helpful. Please like, share and subscribe. It is always appreciated. Stay tuned for more ultimate guides in the future, and I'll catch you next time.